So third live of the day, hello and a very good afternoon. It is now afternoon. We're here at Expo 2020 Dubai on the very first day. We've moved districts. This is the opportunity districts. No, we don't know where we're going. It's been a long day. So on my left, we have the extraordinary Opportunity Pavilion, Mission Impossible. Haven't seen Tom Cruise yet on the search. And over on my right, and this is well promised because lots of people were messaging on our previous videos, it is the absolutely extraordinary Pakistan Pavilion. I would say they've properly knocked it out of the park. I mean, look at that. I like the fact that I inadvertently used a cricket pavilion, a cricket analogy there. The colours are just breathtaking. It's another sort of kaleidoscope effect. I have a feeling it looks like it's slightly, do they move, do you think? Anyway, we're going to go in, we're going to take you indoors, just like you're here in person, and we're going to explore it. Fascinating building next door as well. Got Lebanon on this side. The Lebanese building I actually know quite a bit about. It's actually quite simple, the Lebanese pavilion. They've decided, obviously, because they're having real problems in the country itself, it's a very there isn't a great deal of money for something like a pavilion. So they've decided to focus on the people's creativity and the sort of energy and richness of the culture and the people in Lebanon's pavilion. Pakistan's pavilion, don't know a great deal about, so let's head on in. Look at these shimmering colours.
Let's talk about a little bit about the facade, like these triangular cut-outs, right?
Yeah, I mean, it appears to be, let's get up close and personal this way. It appears to be made out of metal, which is half mirrored and half painted, but the effect is extraordinarily clever, and I bet it looks really, really good at night as well. Again, it is the middle of the day here. It's quite warm on an October day in Dubai at midday, but at night, when I imagine Expo is going to really come alive this month, this will have look at the shimmer there of with the yellow reflecting off onto the pink. It really is a clever, whoever came up with this, let's find out who the architect is, because it's really clever. And it's also going to be a huge relief to pop indoors, because I'm not going to lie, midday in October. Hello there. Thank you very much indeed. Hello. Thank you for having us. The outside is amazing. Yeah, well, it's extraordinary so far. I just saw a sign just there by the door that told us who the architect was. I'm just going to see, does it say who the architect is here?
Can you open the door for a minute, just for the lights? Yeah.
Wow, isn't it extraordinary? No, it's just describing so this door here, that's designed with some Afghan metalworks, which sounds extraordinary. And then as we come in here, we're seeing the pots. Oh, wow. We didn't even notice that. That's extraordinary. Thank you. Beautiful. That's really gorgeous. So almost immediately, you're getting this juxtaposition of the old and the new. Look at that amazing sunshade. And just like in many of the other pavilions, we're first being taken on a journey through the history of the country, which is incredibly useful because it gives you a sense of place and a sense of time before you then move into what is often described as the future in some way, you know, the excitement about the innovations or the creations that each country is coming up with. Look at these figurines are extraordinarily satisfying. Yes, this is clayware of the Indus Valley civilization, all made out of terracotta. My goodness me, my children would have those in a shot. They'd love to snaffle one. Oh my goodness, look. Hello there, how lovely to meet you.
Welcome to the Sheesh Mahal pathway. So this is a pathway where we are showing the Sheesh Mahal. It's a replica of the Sheesh Mahal which is in Lahore Fort. And it was built by the great Mughal Empire, Shah Jahan, for his wife Mumtaz. And it's a replica of that. We are portraying it here, ma'am.
By Sheesh Mahal, it would be a literal translation.
It's a mirror, yeah.
Mirror palace,
yeah.
Right?
Fantastic.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much, sir.
Hope you enjoy your journey.
Thank you. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I've not seen this type of mirrored glass before. Just put my microphone back.
Have you been to Taj Mahal?
I've never been to the Taj Mahal.
So like the facade of Taj Mahal is like very similar.
It's a similar style to
very
this.
similar style.
It's absolutely stunning. So you've got this feeling that you're entering a new world now. They're very clever in the pavilions. They create this sense of movement and space. Wow, hi there. Good to meet you.
This space represents the heaven of natural wonders in Pakistan. So you can see the beauty of Pakistan, and this boat represents the Mohana tribe that used to live on the seas. This represents where the Arabian Sea meets the Indus Valley on your right screen. And as you can also see the wildlife in Pakistan. Most of these places are on northern sides of Pakistan.
That's a bear. I didn't know you had bears in Pakistan. That's amazing.
Thank you. They're mostly rare, but they're mostly found in the cold areas, of course, of Pakistan, which is northern sides. So
It's absolutely beautiful.
thank you.
And how long have you been in Dubai from? Are you from Pakistan?
Yes, I was born and brought up in Dubai, UAE.
Oh, you were fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Some people have literally just arrived. We met a lady from the Maldives and she'd literally just arrived 5 days ago. It was amazing. Oh no, the Seychelles. Thank you so much, sir. Look at this incredible boat. It looks, I presume it's historic and an extraordinary example. Here we go. It's the Mohanas, an ancient community sustained by the river Indus. Boat makers of the Mohana community led by Ustad Muhammad Hussain Mughal and Mohammed Rahib Marani. This is the actual, but it's absolutely beautiful.
It represents the tribe that used to live in the boat. They were called the King of the Seas, and they used to live in these boats, living, eating, everything was inside these boats.
The river people.
Yes, and they still exist till now. So this tribe and the Kalash tribe is the only two tribes that still exist in the world.
How extraordinary. Thank you so much. So even though we're only dipping into the pavilions at the moment for these videos, we're already getting a real taste of each country. And it's totally challenging my preconceptions. I've not travelled to Pakistan before. I didn't know a great deal about it, to be honest. And so to come into this space and see snippets of the culture and the
So
history.
that gentleman was telling us about Kalash tribe, which is one of the other second tribes which still existed in the mountains of Pakistan. So maybe we can ask this lady.
Yes. Hello there. So we were just looking at, we were just discussing the river tribe with the gentleman over there. What's the relevance of these tapestries and clothings here?
Okay, so apparently these.
Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. You're welcome. So these clothes are worn by the Kalash tribe since they live in the mountainous Chitral district. So they have to wear very thick clothes to keep themselves warm. This over here, the long one that's hanging, is called pattu. So these are like, you know how you wear shawls? So
Yeah.
this is the shawl, but it's called pattu. And these are head scarves, head pieces, worn by men and women both. And these are the dresses worn by women.
And whereabouts is this tribe based? Is this in the north of the country?
Yes, I said it's in Chitral, mountainous district Chitral.
Chitral.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
They're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right, we're going to continue on our journey now. Although I've seen tiny little frozen monkeys and giant ibex and then gambling brown bears, which I never knew. I never knew lived in Pakistan. Here we go. This is beautiful. A sense of movement from place to place. And at the moment, Expo 2020 is not that busy because people have probably said, oh, we'll give them a few days to settle in. But you can imagine that if there were large crowds of people, hello there, they would gradually move through these spaces. Another extraordinarily large screen. We're getting a sense now, I think, of the religious sites in Pakistan. And extraordinarily old historic sites as well. As I said, it is something of a whistle-stop tour for us, but there's obviously lots of opportunities for people to sit and meditate and learn more about the country. This panelling here is beautiful as well. Examples of ceremonies. Hello there, how are you? Absolutely amazing. A lot of the pavilions have this slightly sort of meditative feel about them. I think it's partly because we're coming in out of the sunshine, but they're cool and calm, like museums. Well, that's until the children discover them. And then you've got, here we go. Oh, we're out again. Oh no, it's we're going to go across a courtyard now, I think. Thank you. My goodness, and then we're out into the light again. And now we're completely in the midst of this extraordinary, sorry, I reached too far. We're right in the midst of this extraordinary kaleidoscope again with these colours shimmering off. It's quite warm as well. But isn't it magnificent? Absolutely gorgeous colours. I'm really enjoying how Expo 2020 is really a feast for all the senses. You know, you go into these pavilions and it's not just about the sights and the sounds. A lot of them are also creating a sort of feeling. So if maybe it's of humidity, for example, in the Singaporean pavilion and the Malaysian pavilion. In Brazil, there's a waterfall. You go into a room and there's an entire waterfall. And then a lot of them, mask on. Thank you. And then a lot of the pavilions are also drawing on your sense of smell as well. So this sense of this sort of all-encompassing sensory frenzy. Maybe frenzy is a bit much, but you know what I mean, a really immersive experience. And these enormous screens do a great deal to create that effect. So this definitely feels like the sort of modern, forward-looking trade area of the Pakistan Pavilion. We're moving past pink rock salt. Here we go. Salt deposits in the 300-kilometre salt range of the Potohar Plateau in Pakistan, formed around 800 million years ago. The pink rock salt mined from this region contains 84 minerals and is famous for its superior quality and numerous health benefits. There's a very big rock of it behind us here. And then there's an area here which we're not meant to touch. But you can see when they describe it as pink rock salt, they're not joking, it really is very pink. Absolutely stunning, massive blocks of salt. Hello there. You do get a sense of the enthusiasm. Are we going this way now? Thank you.
It's the part of the pavilion.
Say again?
It's the peaceful part of the pavilion.
Brilliant. We're looking forward to it. So here it says the Billion Trees Project, reforesting our precious land. And we're heading down. Wow.
Okay, we're going to pass through the laser
Oh my
beams or
goodness.
something.
So like I said, a completely immersive experience. So it feels like you're walking, it's raining, and yet it's the light, it's the lasers. And then you add in the sound effects from the birds, and you really feel like you're walking through a forest. Ooh! Ah! It's steam. So isn't that clever? They've just added the mist and the water vapor. It's really special. We're so lucky to come on this first day when there aren't very many people here, because you're properly having you're properly getting the effects of it. That really is clever. And you get a sense of what Pakistan is trying to achieve with this reforestation project. We're walking through, it feels like we're walking through a sort of forest glade now. And then you get a second chance to go through it. It's just So clever. Here we go. So they just on a burst of mist here as well. So you actually it really feels like you're walking through a cool forested area. Isn't that clever? What to grab one? Hello there. Hi. That was amazing. Thank you very much. And then there's a bazaar here.
Yeah, it's
So you can tell that what I really want to do is stop in the shop now and go shopping. But they've got all sorts of, a lot of the pavilions actually have got shops. We haven't had a chance to look in very many of them, but I'm looking forward to doing a shopping tour of Expo 2020, where I don't do anything cultural at all, and I don't go into any of the pavilion displays. I just go and buy stuff. And then we're just coming out of the Pakistan pavilion, and here we are with a restaurant. This is one of the pavilions. Hello there, hi, lovely to meet you. This is one of the pavilions with an in-house restaurant. This one is obviously called the Dhaba. And so we can either exit through that door, but let's take a look at the restaurant and find out. Hello there.
What's on the menu or something?
Yeah, should we have a look at what's... Hello, we're making a video. I'm Georgia from the National. Can I have a look at your menu to get a sense of what type of food you serve?
Actually, we have here
Oh, fantastic.
barcode.
Give me an idea of the type of food that you serve. Is it from Pakistan, I'm
Yes, it's
guessing?
traditional Pakistani, and we serve the hot beviers, cold beviers, and like sandwiches, burgers, traditional. So
So
yeah.
what is in traditional in terms of biryani and
Yeah, actually we have like dahi pulki, chana chaat masala, like that, and also we have like desserts like gajar ka halwa, like traditional gulab jamun, like that. So that's
fantastic.
is the.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Well, I'm also going to do an entire week at Expo where all I do is just go to all the restaurants. So thank you very much. We'll see you again soon. Yes, so I do know a few other of the pavilions that have restaurants as well. So we went to the Singapore snack bar on the roof. Thank you so much. Oh look, show me this. So this is if we had bought the passport, I'm saving to buy the passport when my children come. But if you come to Expo 2020 Dubai, the best souvenir to buy is a passport, because then you go around and at each pavilion they'll give you a stamp, and the idea is to collect a stamp from as many pavilions as you can. But we're not cheating today. I'm going to do it properly with my children. So thank you so much. See you soon.
thank you so much.
Yes, you don't want to go to a pavilion without getting a stamp, that's for sure. But we'd already seen one lady who was proudly showing off her passport, and she'd already managed to get a stamp. And if you want to buy one of the passports, you can either buy them online, or you can buy them from the shops here on site. So if you just look up Expo Passport Dubai, or if you look on our website, the national website, we've written an article all about it. The idea is that you can visit the world, just like a normal passport. You can visit the world, but just in one place in Dubai. It's always so bright when I come out of these pavilions. You're blinded by the beautiful sunshine that we have here. I'm fascinated by this opportunity pavilion, Mission Impossible, because...
Go inside, yeah.
Should we go inside? I've never been inside it. And I read they opened it to the public for a media tour about a week ago. Oh, here we go, let's head down here. And a lot of people went to it then, but I haven't had a chance. Looking ahead down this fantastic vista here, leaving the colourful Pakistan pavilion behind, which was breathtaking, you'll see that this street here is being patrolled by a robot. So far we've found one in every single district. This robot, the bigger one, seems to be sort of issuing instructions and reminding us to wear our masks. And then there's a little tubby orange one a little bit further down. He seems to sing songs at you and is very cheerful and happy. Oh look, this is the Bahrain one. Gosh, that's quite utilitarian, isn't it? This is the Bahrain pavilion here on the left. Yeah, look at that. Oh, I know why it looks like that. It's because one of their biggest exports is steel. And so it harks to that. It's themed around that. And then this sort of archy one is quite interesting. You can tell I'm not a writer for an architect's newspaper. This sort of archy one. It's very pretty. Which one was this? This is Iraq.
Wow, we should go inside.
We should go inside, right? So I know nothing about what was going on inside the Iraq Pavilion, but isn't it clever that instead of being closed, like quite a lot of them, where you have to open a door, it's totally open to the world and encouraging you can just stroll in without any sort of effort. And as a consequence, I think they'll end up with quite a lot of visitors. It does look like it's still being constructed at the moment, but clearly it's going to be a sort of multimedia journey. Now, I don't think this is going to happen very often, but behind me there's not one, not two, but 3 orange robots. I love the robots. Look how cute they are. It's just that classic futuristic, very Dubai thing to do, to have actual robots just randomly roaming around. Right, let's go in here. Over we go. We won't go and disturb. Oh, well, there's an official store there, so that's where you'd buy the passport. And then if you just, right up at the very end there, I'm not sure how much you can see, but the UK pavilion is right at the end there. And then this is the entrance and exit, so you can see just behind there. Here you've got the giant portals. There's 4 of those, one at each entrance. And then here you've got airlines, sort of airport-style security, where you have to show your bag and take your passport out, your laptop out of your bag, that type of thing. Right, how are we going to get in? Let's go this way.
So Georgia, as we go inside the pavilion,
yes.
So do you want to maybe touch upon that WhatsApp calls thing that we...
Oh yes, so one of the interesting quirks about the Expo 2020 site is that WhatsApp calls seem to be working on site. I have to admit, I haven't tried it out yet. But if you live in Dubai or the UAE, you might know that for the most part, WhatsApp and what's the other one called? The iPad, the iPhone Live one, FaceTime. Sorry. For the most part, they don't work in Dubai, but there have been rumours that they do work on site. So it's definitely something to try out if you want to sort of show off the site on video to your friends and family back home. I think you can now do FaceTime or WhatsApp video calls, or at least it might be worth a try. You know, we've all got used to it in the UAE, so we don't tend to use it. We tend to use Zoom or Windows or Teams, Microsoft Teams. So we're going up. This is the Opportunity Pavilion called Mission Impossible. It's one of the 3 major thematic pavilions that the UAE has created itself. So there's the UAE pavilion, but then there are these 3 key thematic pavilions. This one obviously is focused on opportunity, does what it says on the tin. I have very little sense of what's inside, so we're going to make our way in now. And I think this is one of the pavilions where you might need to... There's another robot! They're everywhere. 4. Gives you a sense of how many there must be. Hello there, how are you? Now I don't have a ticket to go in. Do people normally need a ticket to go in the Opportunity? Yeah, because you get busy. Am I allowed in with my media pass? Not sure, that's absolutely fine. So I think, so this is another reason why it's worth getting the Expo 2020 app, because in order to get into the big thematic pavilions, it looks like you need to also reserve a position or reserve a ticket for that. I'm allowed to go in as media. Well, you have to do quite a long walk.
Is there an easier way because we're doing the Facebook Live and it's going to be a long...
I'm not sure if it's busy. Once the start round finishes, most people are going to go in and then you have to wait for the countdown.
So I see there's a countdown of 1.5 minutes. We're worried we might lose our audience if we wait for 1.5 minutes. Okay, we're going to come back here later. We'll make it our destination of choice and we'll go instead in pursuit of the robot. I need to find out what his name is. They'll have specific names. But as you can see, so all of the ladies are walking around us now. They're all the volunteers. Hello, lovely to meet you. How are you? I'm Georgia from the national newspaper.
Okay.
How are you finding your first day of volunteering?
It's amazing. It's going amazing. How about you? How do you guys feel here?
We're really, really enjoying ourselves.
Have you seen anything till now? Have you seen the UN Hub?
We've been into quite a few of the pavilions. The Pakistan Pavilion, the Singapore Pavilion.
Okay.
So yeah, we're making our way around, but mostly we're just soaking up the atmosphere around
So
us.
did you see the Mission Possible? Have you have a look around that one?
We haven't gone inside yet. There's a bit of a delay, and because we're live at the moment, we didn't think that we wanted to wait
It's
too
not a
long.
delay, so it opens every 2 minutes. The doors open. So as soon as you go, you'll find your way in. So it's
find
not.
your way in.
Yeah, you do.
And
But
do people normally have to book tickets to go in there?
well, they do have to. But you get when you book the Expo ticket. With that, you can have this ticket. So we have a smart system where you can book your own timing, so you don't have to wait longer.
And that's done on the app.
Yeah, it's done on the app. Before that, you can have a look around the best practice area or the UN hub. So you have things to look around. You'll never get bored here, and it's amazing. I swear. Once you have a look around it, you'll be like, wow. Just a small little change, and it's a big impact. So I would suggest you guys to go in and have a look around.
Thank you so much. What's your name?
I'm Raisa.
Reza.
Raisa, thank
Thank you so much for help. Are you from here, Reza?
Yeah.
From the UAE. Thank you for helping us. Amazing to see the enthusiasm of the volunteers. There are, I believe, 30,000 of them. They're not all working at the same time. They're going to be staggered throughout the 6-month period because it's easy to forget that this is just day one and that we've got another 6 months to go, 180 days, 182 days in total, so 181 to go. I do like it when it's leafy and green. That feels really effective. So people here are just emerging from the Opportunity Pavilion. It'd be interesting to see what people thought. We might stop. And then we're in hot pursuit of the robot. Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. There seems to be, here we go. Let's see if he's going to talk to us. This time he's the hardest interviewee, honestly. Hello.
Thank you for coming. Bye-bye, have a nice day.
He's saying
He
bye-bye.
said, literally, do you see how unenthusiastic he is about an interview? He just said, thank you for coming, have a nice day. Would you like to do an interview with me? Can we discuss things? How are you? How do you feel on the first day of Expo?
Can you maybe ask her a question about where is, for example, some pavilion?
Robot, where is...
Part of Expo. We are proud of you.
Oh, he said he was proud of me.
Thank
Yeah.
you for coming. Hope to see you soon.
Thank you for coming. Hope
Do you
to
know
see
where is
soon.
India Pavilion? Ask him.
Where is the India Pavilion, Robot? Do you know? He's got a very friendly face, but maybe not that bright. Is that rude? It's not that bright. But then thank goodness, because if you had a robot who was cleverer than us, we'd start to feel threatened.
Oh, George, that Swiss pavilion is something like
That Swiss pavilion is mind-blowing. So the only thing that is slightly challenging about the Swiss pavilion, which you can see in front of you now, do you see that mirrored effect with the red, and then as we get closer you're going to see the cross, which shows that it is the Swedish flag. The only problem with it right now is that mirror is reflecting the midday sun
All right,
like
also
nothing
you're wearing
else.
Red, so you might get lost in the pavilion.
Yeah, you might. So as you can see, they've done a brilliant job. The pavilion has realised that it's quite toasty at this time of the day. And so everyone who is queuing has got lovely umbrellas, which actually has a very decorative effect. It does look great. What about the cones next door? Is that, I wonder which country that is. Let's have a look. Oh, that's Austria? Austria, intriguing. And then we've got Egypt to our right here. Earlier there was a bit of a queue for Egypt, but that seems to have died down slightly. But yes, either there's lots of patriotic Swiss nationals, or everyone wants to go into that extraordinary building. There's something going on down here, look. There's just constant music and excitement here on the first day of Expo. And as you can see, even though it is the middle of the day, and I am a little bit hot, to be honest, a little bit hot. I've been drinking a lot of water. It's people are still out and about. This shaded effect that they've got here in the avenues is very, very effective. There's a nice breeze, and everyone.
Show these cones a little bit closer.
Yeah, let's go. Oh yeah, let's go have a look at the Austria cones. Plus, it might be slightly cooler inside. Oh, this on the left. This is the Chinese one. Do you see how it looks like a giant lantern? We've got to go in there. You know why we've got to go in there? They've got a panda robot. A panda robot. That might be slightly more intelligent than our friendly orange friend, yellow friend. So I'm so sorry, I'd avoided the cones, which do look lovely, Austria, because I want to go in here to the Chinese pavilion.
So I like 10% battery left.
So we've got 10% battery left. So I reckon, do you think we've got time to, let's see if we can make it. Let's go in and see. Hello there. Something was going on down there as well.
Dance happening there.
They're dancing.
I mean, we can go in for
So
like
panda
5 minutes.
robot or dancing? That's the type of choice you face at Expo.
Panda.
Panda robot or Irish dancing. Which do we do? Those are the type of dichotomies you're going to face. Thank you, sir. So as you can see, and this gentleman's very right to tell me, you need to wear your mask on site. When I'm doing filming, I'm taking it off occasionally, but for the most part, COVID regulations require us to wear the mask. You do not need a PCR test, you do not need to be vaccinated to come on the site, but you do need to have a PCR test in advance. If you want to find out more details about that, we have got them on the national website. If you check out our blog, it'll give you all the details of where you need to do that. Here we go. So it's that classic queuing system where if aliens came down and saw us now, they'd be like, these humans, they seem intelligent, but all they do is walk around in circles. If we wanted to avoid this queuing, of course, you can buy a smart pass, which means you can skip queues. And then say this was all chock-a-block with people, you can also use the smart queuing system on the Expo app, which I haven't tried out yet, but you can sign up for it. And it means that you can just wait and come when it's time for when it's your turn. So you sort of digitally queue rather than physically queue. And Expo introduced that because back at the Milan Expo, the queues got up to about 1 or 2 hours. Oh, heavenly cool. Now, this Expo is going to be quite exciting. This pavilion, rather, is going to be quite exciting. There are several things I'm looking out for. One of them is the China robot, the panda robot. The second is that they've got an exhibition on space. And then the third is that they've got, I think it's an autonomous vehicle. So we start, here we go, we're going into space straight away. So we start with a political greeting from the leader. Lots of people are taking photographs with that. And then, you see what's so lovely? Oh, wow. Wow. So this is illustrative of all the satellites that China has put up into space.
So where are we, Georgia? Do you want to repeat?
So yeah, so if anyone's just joined, we're now inside the Chinese pavilion at Expo 2020 Dubai. The Chinese pavilion's looks from the outside like a giant Chinese lantern. And here on the inside, there's a big focus on space, a big focus on the future. Isn't that clever? Do you see that chandelier? It's LED lights working working on a sort of computerized system. Isn't that clever? Again, another example of a pavilion using a really immersive element. Oh, look, there's a robot. Yes, you see, but he's not moving. And I know. Is he? Oh, he is moving. Look at that, he is moving. Do you think he'll say hello? Hello? He definitely just started doing a green light when I said hello to him. He's a bit more scary than the yellow one. You know, the sort of round yellow one, he's just more friendly. Here we go, so we're going into the space corridor now. This sense of moving through the exhibition. This one's on a bit of a slope. We're going around the outside of the circular lantern and gradually cooling down a bit. In the middle of the day, it is quite hot. But then you can dip inside each pavilion and cool down and learn. There's some fun children's drawings on the screens, alternating round. Here we go. You get the sense with these pavilions that they're very much ready for large audiences, for lots of people. You can imagine, say you had 100 people travelling through this at a time, they would be able to absorb the exhibition. We'd sort of whistle-stop touring slightly, just so that we can crack on through. Someone's about to do a live broadcast for a Chinese channel, leaving us time to admire. Oh, he stopped for a bit. Thank you so much. As you can see, there's a lot of international media interest in the Expo 2020, not just for people's own pavilions, but to explore the others. Oh, look, how cool is this? So this is the sense. This is the high-speed rail exhibition. So in China, they have an incredibly fast high-speed rail network. And I think this is illustrative of that. There's a lot of T's in illustrative. Let's see, where are we heading now? On we go. You get a sense, it's really big. Some of the pavilions are really large. Here we go. It's quite popular. This is the most people that we've seen inside a pavilion so far. So it's quite fun to see, the public coming in and enjoying it and exploring. And this, do you see this gentleman here's got the passport? It's interesting to know how many people who go. So we're in the evolution tunnel of information now. We're spiraling around the outside. I seem to remember one pavilion having the largest elevating platform. And I wonder whether that's what we're heading towards now. Oh, I like this blue effect. So we're slightly passing people by. Like I said, we really are doing a slightly whistle-stop tour of this one. But for example, we're definitely seeing more Chinese people in the Chinese pavilion. And that might be why I feel a sort of urge to go to because I'm British, I have an urge to go to the British pavilion. Obviously, if you're from China, the first pavilion you'd want to go to would be your own country's pavilion. And we still haven't found the India pavilion. I know we've got to go and find that one for everyone who's watching. There have been many requests for the India pavilion. It's over in another district, so we're going to go and hunt of it and then do another video of that. But we're very proud of ourselves. We did manage to find the Pakistan pavilion. And that was entirely thanks to the GPS map on the phone, which is very effective. Oh, look. So we're now entering the third area, which is innovation and cooperation in the common homeland. Where is the panda robot? That is what we're on the search for. Maybe he hasn't arrived yet. Oh, look. I don't think he's here. I think that was going to be his spot. Maybe he's not here yet. There's your autonomous vehicle. That's a big element of the exhibits here is smart travel. So you've got a whole, as with many of the pavilions, you start with heritage at the bottom and then you move through the times until you're here in a sort of much more futuristic environment. Although they also have a sustainability area over there, the Smart Natural Reserve, which is interesting. But no panda robot. I'm going to have to ask. I think the panda robot would normally be there. Hello there. Hello. Is there going to be a robot in the shape of a panda?
Panda robot is there, but now...
Is he resting at the moment?
Yeah.
He's resting?
Yeah.
No worries.
Sorry.
Don't worry. If I came back tomorrow morning, would he be here?
Of course.
He will be? Oh, okay. So he's just charging, maybe.
Let me ask about panda if you want to see now.
Oh, that would be amazing if we could. Thank you so much. You can tell my enthusiasm for this. It is supposed to be the most extraordinary robot because it's very advanced and sophisticated. And it was it was introduced at a robot conference or a tech conference in China. Hello. He's not ready yet. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry, we'll come back and find him.
Okay, tomorrow morning will be.
We'll come back tomorrow. Thank you. Well, so you heard it here, the panda robot will be here in the morning. If you want to see what he looks like, just go to the national website and you'll see it there. So we're going to end our tour here. We will go in search of the Indo Pavilion. Do watch the last 2 videos if you missed them, because they really do start and give you a good sense of the entire Expo site. And we'll be back here shortly.